boys. We're doing a little boozy lunch this afternoon. We just come back from the foot parlour, the massage parlour, and we're doing a little Redo. Snapchat, good morning, what's going on? We're doing a little mini lesson today. Everyone's really enjoying the investment related lessons. So with that in mind, let's keep going with it. The question I got a lot after the last couple of days investment related mini lessons was property. Thoughts on property. Now, everyone has some strong ideas about property, right? Just like fucking religion. And whenever I go on and talk about property here, inevitably I piss some people off. So before I start, understand that when I'm giving lessons here in investment, trading, and property, etc., I'm coming from the point of view of financial independence. That's my framework. Other people don't value financial independence like I value financial independence. Some people have a higher value on family, on having a secure fucking home and having the kids grow up in one place. So if that's you, if you value that more than financial independence, then my lessons will be attacking your values and they won't feel comfortable to listen to. Glad we got that out of the way. Stage 1, financial independence. I define stage 1 as your independence from a boss, job, partner, parent, or spouse. Reaching stage 1 means generating enough passive and semi-passive income to cover your living expenses. That's it. It means you don't have to go to work. It means you're not dependent on a boss. And there's a very basic formula for it. Here it is. A divided by E minus PI. Let me explain. A is your liquid assets, the total of all of your liquid assets. E is your monthly expenses, and PI is your passive and semi-passive income monthly. Quick example. Let's just say you have liquid assets to the tune of $8,000. You got $8,000 in the bank. It costs you expenses. Monthly expenses is $4,000 per month to live. And like most people on the planet, your passive and semi-passive income is $0. You don't make any passive and semi-passive income. 8,000 divided by 4,000 is 2 months. Does that make sense? You've got 8,000 to your name in liquidity. You have 4,000 per month to live and have a roof over your head. You're good for 2 months. If the shit hits the fan with your primary income stream, whether that be a partner or a spouse or a boss or a job, you're good for 2 months, after which you're in a little trouble. That was example number 1. Now, example number 2. Same amount of liquidity, same amount of monthly cost, but this time you generate a $2,000 per month passive income stream. Your prosperity figure just doubled. Your financial independence figure just doubled. This is measured in time, not dollars. This is the paradigm shift in the way that we think. So again, if the shit hits the fan, you've got 8,000 in the bank, it costs you 4,000 per month to live, but 2,000 of that 4,000 is subsidized by your passive or semi-passive income. It doubles your length. You got to get this. As your passive and semi-passive income streams start to expand to the level of your monthly expenses, the denominator in the formula approaches 0. This is the x-axis. This is a 1 on x graph. Let me show you what it looks like. If your brain thinks in numbers and graphs like mine, brilliant. Take a screenshot. You already know this. As the denominator, as x approaches 0, y approaches infinity. In the financial independence formula, E minus PI is the denominator. So as this guy approaches 0, your time figure approaches infinity. It's called infinite prosperity. It means you generate enough to cover your living expenses from semi-passive and passive income streams. You don't work. You're financially independent. Stage 1, it's not eternal, but that's stage 1 financial independence. First financial target is stage 1 financial independence. What's the point in going and growing massive degrees of equity and becoming a multi-millionaire if you've got no cash flow, no passive income? And if you ever go and meet an equity millionaire who doesn't have cash flow, you will know that that's not a wise target to aim for. It's not wise, it's fucking stressful. They've got no cash flow to service their empire. So in the pursuit of stage 1 financial independence, there's just 3 components to consider. There's only 3 things that make it up. Your liquidity, your expenses, and your passive and semi-passive income. That's it. So let's talk about property. The great national dream. Let's get your house. Let's buy your house in your 20s. How does that affect the 3 components of financial independence? Let's take a look. A, for liquidity. How does buying a property affect your liquidity? Well, usually when you go and get a mortgage, you have to put up a deposit. That means you take liquidity and turn it into equity. It means your liquid assets go down. When you take savings out of the bank and put it into a property, your liquid assets go down. Okay, what about expenses? What happens when you go and buy a property? Does your life get cheaper? Your expenses go through the roof. You've got non-tax deductible interest on the mortgage for one. And you've got the principal repayments, and you might have land tax, and you might have body corp. If you bloody get an apartment like this one, you've got body corp fees, you've got renovations, you've got fix-ups, repairs. Buying a property increases your expenses and lowers your liquidity. What does it do to your passive income and semi-passive income? Nothing. It does nothing to it. Buying a property moves you further away from financial independence. Anyone who tells you should be buying a property, why? Ask why. Dude, show me the numbers. It moves you further away from financial independence. Now, the exception to the rule is obviously if you have a unique application to the property, some way you can add value to it through doing a renovation or a development, and you have expertise in that field. But if you're buying your own house to move into and live, and you can't claim the tax, it's not a business, you're not getting tenants to generate an income from it, it's not a fucking investment, it's a liability. A liability that will tend to lock you down in one geographical location, it will sap your liquidity, it will boost your expenses, you'll get jack of it in about 8.3 years on average, and you'll sell it and move. And that's absolutely fantastic if you're the bank who issued the mortgage, because they've been charging you interest and principal based on an amortization schedule that looks like this. 30-year mortgage, 100% loan, in 8.3 years you've paid around about fuck all. 8.3 years you've been paying interest every week. You hardly paid off any fucking principal. So then you go and move, cancel the loan, pay out the loan, go get a new one, start all over again. The financial institutions in your country are fucking laughing at the masses in your country. They think it's a joke. Go to college, get a big debt. Have a big fuck off wedding with a stupid diamond ring, get some debt. Watch all the ads on TV and on the internet now and get a credit card and go and buy stupid shit that you don't need to impress the people that you don't even like anyway, get some debt. Then go and get a house and get a fucking pledge till death, a mortgage, and get debt. Hopefully for them, you'll get sick of it in 8 years, sell the motherfucker, and then move on to the next place. You just keep paying interest all of your entire life. You never get anywhere. You never get anywhere. If you want to have an extraordinary life, you have to think outside the box. You have to break traditions. Everything that the masses are doing, question it. You don't do it unless you've resolved to have that lifestyle. And you've done the numbers, and you know what? You're still called to have the traditional lifestyle. You love that, and that's a beautiful thing as well. But if you want the financial independence, fuck that. So let's just say you're a bit more savvy and you want to buy a property, put a tenant in there, now you can generate a little bit of an income. That's a pretty good investment, right? Maybe. Let's do the numbers. Very, very, very brief numbers, and obviously this is very generalized as well. We're using round numbers. Do the numbers yourself. $500,000 house, and then you go and rent it out for $2,000 per month. That's about right. Obviously, it's going to vary wherever the hell you are and whatever the house is and the unique situation, the things that you can add to it. If you got a special niche travelers type property and you put it on Airbnb, it's different. We met a motherfucker in Bali who's doing about $190,000 per year in passive income from his Airbnb properties. They're very niche properties. Probably a better passive income stream than a house in suburbia. But nonetheless, let's look at the numbers. $500,000 house, you rent it out $2,000 per month. That's a $24,000 per year income stream. Not bad, but you're going to have a few little expenses. You are going to want to have some building insurance in case the tenant gets drunk and drives his Segway through the fucking window and smashes it. You're going to want some landlord insurance to protect you if you can't get a tenant in. Here where we live, we got land tax, which can really add up. 1.6% on the land, that can really add up. If you don't have land tax, then you'll probably be more subject to body corporate if it's a unit. And then repairs and maintenance. Let me show you something on this. This here is our kitchen, and you can see the wooden bloody thing. It's actually a fridge. There's two fridges behind here. Here we go. These pieces of shit are called a Leibher French door fridge. I suggest you go and Google that. This motherfucker is $15,000 a fridge. And in this particular unit, there's two of them. They don't work, they're faulty. This morning we had the people up here, they could fucking replace them for us. 15 gorillas. Fuck that, I'm not paying for that. It's not my apartment, it's not my fridge. So if you're a landlord, you got to pay for that shit. Repairs and maintenance adds up. So here I've just calculated very loosely, by the way, round numbers, very loose shit. Eight and a bit grand per year out of that 24 income. So when you get your $24,000 per year in rental income, which is really nice, but then you actually consider in the time and expense and all this bullshit, well, we're netting around about $15,700 per year. And you get your $15,700 net and you divide it into $500,000 house, that's a 3.14% income return. And that's assuming no interest, no mortgage. If you're going into the game with a mortgage, even at just 4% per annum on $500,000, that's 20 grand a year in interest repayments. That's less than your income. You're negatively geared. I'm trying my best here to make it sound not too grim, so I'm not going to include interest. I'm going to assume it's a cash job. You got a 3.14% return. Is that a good investment? If so far this mini lesson has made you want to vomit or punch me in the face, sit tight, hold tight. I'm going to show you a potential alternative that you might want to consider. Here it is. This particular one's called Welltower Inc. It's a real estate investment trust. Let me explain that really quickly. Let's say you're a big ass company with a lot of experience in real estate and you have a lot of staff and a lot of money and you go and spend the money on property. You go and buy property because you're a professional property investor. Let's say you turn the company into a real estate investment trust and send it public, which means that you have a stock code on the stock market, in this case the New York Stock Exchange, and people can buy it. If you've got the stock code and you've got an online brokerage platform, you can buy the real estate investment trust. You can buy shares in it. When their properties go up, their price goes up. As their properties generate an income from the rental yield, that becomes profit in the trust. They then distribute the profit to their shareholders in the form of a dividend. So by buying a real estate investment trust, you get exposure to the property market. When the property market goes up, your investment goes up, and you get exposure to rental income. You get an income. How much income? Bloody good question. Let's take a look. At the moment, Welltower Inc. is trading at $67 per share, and they're paying out a 5.19% dividend. 5.19% yield, 3.14% yield. Are you getting this? Oh, yeah. But if you buy the property, then you get the capital gains. It's going to go up in value. The rule of thumb is it doubles every 7 to 10 years, right? Yes, but so does the real estate investment trust. That's going up as well. Here we go. Welltower Inc. This is the chart since 1983. Since the year 2000, it's gone up 400%. The code, by the way, is HCN, Welltower Inc. This is the time here, 2000, March 2000 to present day, 381% growth. That means if you get your $500,000, instead of buying a single property over here in suburbia, you put it into HCN, the property today would be worth $2.3 million. And this down here, these little D's, these blue D's, it stands for dividend. That's your income. Income. Growth. It's one of those things that sounds too good to be true. No, it's not too good to be true. It's just a fact of life that not many people know about. The masses don't know this. Let me show you who does it. If you go to CNN money.cnn.com and then you go to the bloody thing, you read all about it. Welltower Inc., HCN, it's listed on the New York Stock Exchange. You go to the shareholders and see who owns it. So who have we got here? We got Goldman Sachs Asset Management, little backyard investors are here. Morgan Stanley Investment Management, they own HCN. HCN is just one real estate investment trust that you have exposure to. Everyone can invest in this stuff. You don't need to be Goldman Sachs, but they're doing it anyway because they're fucking smart. Welltower is a $24 billion market cap enterprise. It's a big fucking operation. This is not a get-rich-quick scam online. This is a fucking legitimate company. And in my personal opinion, it's a brilliant way to get exposure to the property market. If you want to get property, get some real estate investment trusts. You don't need to be a mum and dad level investor. If you want to play big, play big. The capital growth is better. The income's better. You don't have to deal with shit like this happening. There's no maintenance, there's no tenants, there's no fuckery. Fuck that. Can you imagine being a billionaire CEO of Goldman Sachs and you got an investment property and you're renting it out and then they call you up and say, oh, your vegetarian tenants put too many coconuts in the fridge, it's broken. Fuck off, he'd say. No one got time for this shit. You don't have time for fucking tenants. Jesus. Real estate investment trusts, it's worth looking into.